Hi everyone, my name is Sanjay. Today we're going to be speaking with Mr. Sanjay Srinivasan. Mr. Srinivasan studied political science at the University of Central Florida. Soon after graduating, he created his company Global Enterprises. In 2004, he completed his MBA from the University of Phoenix. Now, he has founded many companies and global enterprises such as Global Eyewear and Global Med. So, Mr. Srinivasan, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for sitting down with us, sharing your advice. It's going to be really helpful, I'm sure.
Sure.
Are you ready to get started?
Absolutely.
Okay, so first, please just share your earlier experiences with us. How did you attend UCF? Was that your first choice?
UCF was my only choice. I went to St. Leo College initially, and got my associates from there, and then went over to UCF because I wanted to be back home and had a great network of friends and family and people, and I love Orlando, so just wanted to come back to UCF.
Okay, so what kind of experiences did you have there? What kind of extracurriculars were you involved in?
So I belonged to Sigma Chi fraternity. I was very involved in the business school there as well because I minored in business. UCF was a great school, great experience, and of course when I went there, it was a lot smaller.
Okay.
And in fact we didn't even have one parking garage there. Now it's covered with parking garages. So I've got a lot of fond memories, a lot of fun times. Worked hard, studied well, loved my classes, loved my courses, loved my teachers, and it was a great experience overall.
Oh, good. So did you like that it was a smaller college overall?
It was small but big. When I went to college, there was still under 20,000 kids, and so it was larger than a lot of private schools, colleges, but it was smaller than University of Florida and Florida State, which is why that was the allure for me. I kind of like that.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it was nice.
Okay, that's good. So right after graduating UCF, you started Global Enterprises. Did you have any work experience prior to doing that?
Yeah, so I started working at a very young age. I got my first job when I was 15 at Universal Studios.
Wow.
It was a job of not any big significance. I was behind a register, cash register. It was my summer job, so I worked seasonal. My father instilled in me that if you want something to go work for it and go get it. He gave me all I needed, but anything I wanted, I'd work for and get. So I started at Universal Studios when I was 15, and when I was 16 and a half, I worked at SeaWorld selling pearls. So I worked through high school and college. I was a seasonal employee, so every Christmas, Thanksgiving, spring break, summer, I was working.
Every break you got?
Every break I got.
Got it. So working at Universal and SeaWorld, is that how you got the idea for Global Enterprises?
Yeah, that coupled with some relationships that my family had and I had, but that was the definitely the start of my passion for the industry, as well as starting my career for sure.
Okay, so then while working, you completed your MBA in 2004.
I did.
Is there a reason why you waited a couple years after graduating from UCF?
Somebody, a good friend of my father's actually told me a while ago, an astute businessman who is no longer with us, but he told me a long time ago that he always recommended anybody who was in pursuit of their master's in business to take some time off and get some real world work experience, and then do your MBA. So I started my MBA right after my undergrad, but then I dropped it because I started my business, J Jewelry at that time, and it encompassed a lot of my time. So I'm a big advocate of that. It's great to go to grad school, period. I just recommend getting some reps and some experience in the real world before you pursue your graduate studies.
Got it. And then did you do this MBA part-time or full-time?
So it was an executive program.
Okay.
So it was constricted, it was accelerated, it was meant for business professionals. So it was a full-time basis.
Got it.
And I finished in a little over a year.
Wow. Okay. So do you think that has helped you a lot in your business so far?
Absolutely. I mean, it doesn't hurt. I think real world application and trials and tribulations and making your mistakes and learning from it is the best college or classes you're ever going to get.
Yeah.
Period, end of story. But there's a lot of principles, a lot of discipline that taking courses teaches you. For instance, contracts and the strategy. So there is some lot of attributes that I picked up and learned from my master's in business program
Okay.
that I use today.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a great to have the combination of the two, for sure.
Okay. So using that MBA, how have you expanded global enterprises?
Well, it's scale. I mean, scale is everything. In business, that's the management skills hone in. The three key areas of business: management, marketing, and finance,
Okay.
are all addressed in an MBA program, which are critical in any small, mid, or large business. I've learned that. But scale, if it was one thing that you're asking me, is scale. Whether it's economies of scale on the purchasing side, or scaling out my business on the retail side, or even the wholesale. So really elevating, our rep.
Okay. So how many businesses are there now as a part of global enterprises?
Too many. No, kidding. We have six under the division, six divisions under the corporate umbrella.
Okay.
We've got Global Promo, which is a promotion products company. We do corporate identity, staff shirts, uniforms, anything from trade show giveaways to restaurants, in restaurant use type of items. We've got Global Sun, which is a merchandise platform and collection where we do theme park merchandise for shirts and hats and mugs. We've got Global Medical Supplies, which is a medical supply company.
Okay.
That's really transformed, especially post-COVID and during COVID. So it's been great. We've got M&S Global,
Okay.
which is a great company where we're working on 3 different products there, including a medical device that purifies and kills all pathogens and keeps everybody safe.
Wow. Okay.
And we've got an NFT platform which we just launched, which is it's music driven, and it's a Beats coin. So it's pretty neat. And then I've got the SRP side of our business, which is sunglasses and electronics and so
Got it.
forth.
So the M&S company, when do you think that kind of technology will be developed, finished?
No, great question. It's already finished right now. We're taking it out to market. It's fantastic. We are working on another new technology, which is going to be a game changer. It's going to be, for really the medical side of medical prevention and reading malaria and COVID and even Alzheimer's through some medical developments and technology that we're utilizing. A lot more can be said after we get our approvals done, but we're certainly excited about that.
Yeah, sounds really exciting.
Yeah.
So what are some of your daily responsibilities? What does your day look like usually?
My day is loaded with meetings, and in the mornings it's rigor and discipline. I conduct my life in a very structured and scheduled manner. In the mornings I get in, when I'm in town and not traveling, I'm in the office by 7:45 a.m. every day. And here, the first thing that I do is look at my daily schedule. I mean, it's critical, very important for youngsters or anybody that is aspiring to be an entrepreneur. My executive leadership team, as well as my COO and partner, and so forth. So we've got that structured call at 7:45, and then we have another call at 9 a.m., which is our cadence call, which is our inner staff discussing the output today, the shippings, the revenue that we generated, yesterday, the previous day, and so forth. And then at 10 o'clock meeting, we have a staff meeting, and on the production side for the manufacturing side.
Okay, got it. And then the rest of the day, just
client calls, strategy meetings, looking at product inventory. I personally manage the inventory reports, the production schedules, the flow, operationally, and of course some sales calls and some sales meetings, and saying hi to some of our valued clients.
Yeah, sounds like you're really busy, but outside of global enterprises, what kind of other side projects, businesses do you have?
So I do a little bit in real estate, so dabble with some other companies and have investments in some privately owned businesses, local and internationally.
How do you manage everything at once?
It's very challenging.
Yeah.
Good people, great staff. I've got a great team under me, and they do a great job, and they take on a lot for me, and they allow me to do the important things like scale and grow and look at what's next and figure out how we can strategically get better market placement, product placement, and so forth.
Got it. So going off of that, what do you think is the most important thing about being a business owner?
The most important thing is rigor and discipline.
Okay.
Two critical pieces of advice I can give anybody. Two things I lead my life by. That is absolutely the two most valuable tools that a person can possess.
Okay, got it. And how do you implement that in your daily life besides your daily schedule?
Yeah, I implement it in every facet of my life, whether it be my workouts, whether it be my scheduling, my time, and whether waking up at a certain hour, going to sleep by a certain hour, eating right, and focusing on health, and focusing on what are more important things in life. Having a structured approach, in my opinion, and again, this works for me, is the best thing.
Got it. Looking back, would you have done anything differently on your journey?
Not at all. Well, I would have personally on a personal side a lot. On the business side, I can't say that I would have changed anything because I've learned from all my mistakes, and I think that's, again, as I said before, it's critical. I think that's something that people want. People will grow and will learn and will get better by making mistakes. So I wouldn't change too much. I'd alter some of my decisions, some of my business decisions, my prior passive business decisions, but I wouldn't change anything.
That's good. Yeah. Aside from your businesses, what are your other leadership roles in your community?
So I'm involved with the Indian American Chamber of Commerce now as the Council of Past Presidents. I was actively involved. I was the first president of the organization, and then I sat on the board for a decade.
Okay.
And then I'm very involved with UCF, University of Central Florida, and in different ways. I sit on the advisory board of the Honors College, the Burnett Honors College, which is a nice organization led by Dean Sheila. And I'm active in some faith-based organizations, as well as I'm very active in my hobbies.
What kind of hobbies?
Playing very lousy golf. But no, I try to golf. I only started a couple years ago, so I love the game. But cars and sports are my hobbies. Love exotic automobiles, as well as fashion and music, and sports is my passion. College football, I live for college football. Love NFL, love NBA. So yeah, that's kind of my release.
Got it. And then the other organization you were talking about, can you please tell us a little bit more about that? The IACC?
Yeah, so it's the Indian American Chamber of Commerce, the Orlando, and great organization. It fosters growth. It's great for business organizations, people, aspiring entrepreneurs, physicians, attorneys. It's a great networking opportunity. You engage with like-minded people that are passionate, that are driven, that are motivated. And it's great leadership. Our current leadership is fantastic. Neil Patel's the president, and he's done a great job. And do philanthropy events. We do a Gandhi Day event, and we feed the homeless, and we fed multiple organizations, whether it be the kids, and so that we have our staple India Day, which is in collaboration with the Orlando Magic, where it's a day dedicated to observing Indian heritage and culture. We have fanfare, we have a fan fest, we have dancing throughout the day, and we have a halftime show, and then we always have a special VIP guest, a guest of Indian descent, usually a Bollywood star or a musician of some sort, or a celebrity. That's our chief guest, special guest, and then we also have the golf tournament, which is great. Which I've won a couple of years and I'm proud of.
Yeah, good job.
Because I stacked my team. It wasn't me. So that's it's a great organization.
Sounds great. For the last thing, what advice would you give to high schoolers looking to enter business, start their own company, anything like that?
It is the only piece of advice that I can give anybody who's passionate about entrepreneurship and looking to start a company or get into business would be to make sure they understand and are passionate with what they want and what they want to do. Right? You got to really want it. In anything in life, you've got to chase your dream. There's nothing that can't be accomplished. I'll tell you that. And some of these kids that I see that are superstars, that are future leaders, And I'm impressed with a lot of these kids, and I'm excited about our future. I've had the opportunity to be a mentor and had internships last year and this year in the summer, and we've got future leaders in the works, and I'm certainly excited. But rigor and discipline is all I can say. Those two key words. I've always said this. I live by it. I profess it. Those two things, if you pick up and you practice and you live those two key components of life, you will be fine and set with anything that you do. But again, you have to be passionate and you have to want it to do it.
Got it. Well, thank you so much for sharing your
You're
advice
welcome.
with us. Do you have any other thoughts to share?
No, I mean, this is great. One thing I will love to advise some of the younger kids that are coming up that are watching this video is don't sell yourself short at all. I mean, chase your dream, chase your passion. I was selling candy out of my backpack in high school, trading baseball cards, hustling. So I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. My father was an entrepreneur. My grandfather was an entrepreneur. But I've always deeply was in fear of failing. You cannot be in fear of failing. You will fail, and you have to learn from failure. That's the key. So a couple things I've said this during this interview is that you will learn from your mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes. Just try not to make it twice or too many times.
Yeah.
But it's a learning process.
Got it. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experiences. They're
You're
really
welcome.
helpful.
You're welcome.